No, Bob, don't do it!
You can't take that out of here, Bob.
Today we are looking at the 1986 made-for-TV action flick Assassin. And who do you call when you have a rogue agent? A retired agent played by Robert Conrad.
I have reason to believe that he has memorized the file of every man in the agency. Now, the fact that you haven't been in it for 8 years gives you the advantage that I need. As you said, a killing machine. No active agent could get near him. That's why we need you.
Easy mission. Go in, kill Bob, get out.
If you get a shot, aim for the stomach. He wears a bulletproof vest.
Between his eyes.
Aim for the stomach. Shoot anywhere else, you won't live to tell me I was right.
The woman with expertise on where to shoot Bob is Mary. She's Bob's former handler, an ex-agent herself, and also next on Bob's to-kill list. So they head to Mary's apartment to look for Bob, but he's nowhere to be found.
The apartment's clean. Come ahead.
Look, have you looked under the bed and in the closets?
Ma'am, I am a former federal agent. Of course I looked in the closets. Well, not all the closets. You may have already figured this out, but his name is Robert because he's a robot.
Primary targets for a bullet are the skull or the chest. We reduce the odds on crippling him by placing the brain in the lower abdomen.
Does he have any other weaknesses?
In an indefensible situation when he can neither fight nor run, he's programmed to self-destruct.
Okay, weakness, stomach. In being a robot, he needs to recharge.
He needs a 220-volt outlet. That means the air conditioning supply.
For my British friends that may not know, that is a standard American 120-volt outlet. But he does somehow unplug from a 220-volt outlet, which means they had access to one and just decided not to use it for that shot. Okay, since we've established he has no weaknesses, what are his strengths?
He can shoot out a candle flame at 200 feet. Don't forget that his eyes have built-in telescopic vision. He can reach running speeds of up to 30 miles an hour.
Okay, but can he fuck?
Sometimes it's necessary for cover.
Our heroes track down Bob, and it goes just as poorly as it did the first time because they don't know that Bob repaired his stomach weakness. Oh yeah, he can also withstand falls up to 50 feet. By the way, the movie didn't bring up Bob can fuck for no reason. There is a long romantic subplot in this movie where the robot dicks down some chick he met at the hotel bar.
Beautiful looking specimen. Why don't you just turn this way and make me happy?
Were you speaking to me?
No. I was just thinking out loud.
Bob is able to cover up the holes in his skin with an iron, and apparently it's not noticeable afterwards because him and the bar woman fuck a lot. Like A lot, a lot.
Do you have an iron I can borrow?
Do you ever sleep?
Rarely.
Ah, you sure never get tired. I can vouch for that.
I've seen some weird, unexplainable crap in some of these movies, but someone explained to me why Mary is eating random MREs that they find in a fallout shelter. They are at the house of the robot's inventor, and during Mary's search for snacks, she finds a gumball machine, and one of the gumballs is fake and has a key to a storage locker, and the storage locker contains journals with a robot's hit list.
This poor, misguided excuse of a scientist is going to get us all nuked. Senator Stanhouse is at it again. He's working his butt off to kill the MX. They should stuff him in a warhead and target him for Moscow.
We also learn that Bob only goes after a target for 48 hours before moving down the list to the next person. That's why he's not after Mary anymore. And that Mary, not suspiciously at all, pockets one of the journals. While our good guys are busy eating gumballs and reading journals, Bob is out killing more people. The boss covers everything up with the government by explaining that of course Bob can jump from tall buildings unharmed and hang from cars. That's because we trained him so well. As things are starting to get wrapped up and Bob is running out of people to kill, let's go back to before the beginning. Why did Robert Conrad leave the agency in the first place?
I have no guilt over Romady. I was ordered to take him out. One man in a small private airplane. He changed his plans. 167 people were killed in that plane crash.
It turns out the reason why Mary pocketed that journal earlier is because it detailed the fact that the leader of our little group had programmed the bomb that caused that crash to go off at 35,000 feet, not exactly the height of a small private plane. And she knew, based on an earlier conversation where he said, well, we can't just bomb Bob or we'll kill a bunch of civilians, that if he found out their boss had killed a bunch of civilians, he wouldn't want to work for them. As the movie wraps up, our good guys try to set a trap for Bob by sending people on his hit list on vacation and waiting the 48 hours for him to move down the list to someone that they can control the location of. This does give us a cool, hey look, he's a robot scene. Overall, lots of cool deaths, lots of explosions, some neat ideas. It was kind of similar to Eva Destruction that I reviewed a while back. I think in that, the robot's weakness was her eyeball. It was a sexy female robot instead of a sexy male robot. I feel really bad for the woman at the bar, though. She thought her and Bob were in a relationship. She bought him a nice suit and gave him a place to stay, banged him a bunch of times. She even says, oh, all the guys I date are plastic and you're a real man. She was so happy. In the end, though, they trap Bob in that fallout shelter with the leader of the good guys, let Bob kill the good guy, and then he blows himself the fuck up by spinning in little circles.
Run!
This movie stars Robert Conrad, who is probably best known for the Wild Wild West TV show back in the day, and Karen Austin, who plays Mary and has done a crapload of television that I've never seen. This movie was written and directed by Sandor Stern, who has a varied and weird career, including episodes of Touched by an Angel, the insane horror movie Pin, and he wrote the original Amityville Horror. Thank you for watching. As always, I shall try to do better next time. As a bonus clip, here's Bob spinning around a bunch. Such cute little circles for such a big explosion.